The New Genesis stream ended yesterday. I had some time to digest everything as well as edit everything into bite-sized pieces. So if you guys don't want to watch the full 1 hour and 45 minutes live stream, then this is the video for you. We're going to be covering everything on the live stream in more bite-sized pieces. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the stream starts off relatively simple. It just talks about the history of PSO2. So on December 2000, we had Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast. On July 2012, we got Phantasy Star Online 2, or the current game that we're playing. And then in 2021, we will get New Genesis. Now do pay attention to the bottom right corner where it says Japan and Global. On Japan, it says PlayStation 4, Windows, PC, Cloud version for PC and Nintendo Switch. And for the global version, it is Xbox Series, Windows 10 PC, as well as Steam. So I believe that is the plan for New Genesis. It's probably going to stick with those platforms. Now on the second slide over here, it's basically a recap of the first stream. PSO2 New Genesis is based off 1000 years after PSO2. We will get a renewed graphics engine, which will apply to both PSO2 and PSO2 New Genesis. New Genesis is going to be a huge open field, there's going to be exhilarating battles, and there is an insane level of character customizability. So what we're going to be seeing in this stream in particular is more information about the huge open world, more information about the combat system, and a ton of information about the character creation. Anyway, let's move on. What they also showcased is the title screen and how easy it is to move between PSO2 as well as New Genesis. It is literally just one loading screen. So just think how we're changing blocks right now. It is exactly like that. It's super duper easy. You literally click a button and boom, you're in New Genesis. You click another button and boom, you're back in PSO2. It's super easy. Then they also want to reiterate that the game is fully free to play. Everything that does cost money is cosmetics. The next up, they show us a updated trailer, which is really beautiful, especially the music. So let's watch that. So we've seen this trailer before, but this time they've added music. You can hear the voices, which is so much better. Notice how much better the music is now with the voices, with the chorus and everything. This is foreshadowing. You can actually do that in-game. Like without switching weapon palettes, you'll be able to switch weapons dynamically, which is very amazing. Which we will be covering in this video, so don't worry. Right after the trailer, they showed us the new cover. So this is how New Genesis's main cover is going to look like. It's beautiful. I really like it. Now they show us more information about the world. So we can see arcs. These are the brave people that protect the world. And we are arcs, even though it's 1,000 years after. So we got to fight against these dolls. These are basically the new fall spawn. And yeah, we are just people that came from space. For some unknown reason, we are the Metreon. And we just come from space. We have no idea why we're here. And we have no memory. As you can see here, we have no memory of what our previous lives were. We just popped onto this planet and we're like, alright, they're dolls, we're gonna fight them. But apparently we retained all our skills and we are still super duper skilled at killing stuff, I guess. And now we are going to spawn in the biggest city on the planet, Central City. So this is our starting town. This is where we're going to be spawning. And that is the world. Next up is combat action. So unfortunately I do need to mute here because the translator was talking over the entire time. But basically we can see the hunter. We've seen this before on the previous live stream. So you know, it's very fluid. You're able to move around while attacking. And you're able to do counters because everyone now has a counter, which is very nice. Or you can do a perfect dodge. And yeah, it's pretty fluid. Then we've got the ranger. The ranger's still the same. It's you have to maintain a certain distance to deal maximum damage. If you get too far, you deal less damage. If you get too close, you deal less damage as well. So you just got to maintain that sweet spot in order to deal good DPS. They did change the over-the-shoulder view. They made it a little bit closer than before. And they did specifically say that. Then we've got the force over here. The force is the same, nice and floaty, and you can cast a lot of stuff, but you've got a counter because every class has a counter now. And so that is super duper cool, as we're going to see right here. Shing! Full counter. So good, so good. I might actually play a force because it just looks so fun now. Now this is new. Now we have the fighter. We have frickin' Bruce Lee here, and he's just wrecking stuff. And later on, you're going to see a great JoJo's reference, and it's beautiful. It's so nice. This class looks so much fun. And what's even better is you can actually make fighter as like a subclass. Let's say that you play force. You can have force fighter. And what's amazing is you can actually use the fighter's skills as well as weapons as a subclass. So you'll be able to do JoJo attacks. Like it's coming up right here. Here it is, the JoJo attack! The aura, 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 aura! It's pretty damn cool. Now we've got the gunner. This really got my attention. She's got some really nice assets. But yeah, you know, it's gunner stuff. You just bounce around and shoot things. And I think gunner is the same. You do have to maintain a certain distance in order to gain maximum damage. But you definitely seem to have a ton of mobility because you're just bouncing around. Makes it look so easy. But then you've also got some abilities to get close up, and then she's going to do that explosion attack pretty soon. I don't know what that is, but because I don't play gunner, but definitely looks pretty cool. Over here, they're showcasing the chain meter, or the chain time. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, you can see that now it's for the individual player. It's not like on the mob anymore, where it, you know, anyone that hits the mob helps the chain. Then we've got the Techer. Techer over here is our good old healer, but they changed it a little bit. They buffed it, I guess. I don't play Techer as well, so I don't exactly know what they do. But it looks like they added some offensive capabilities, and now you can go up and be a battle clerk or something and just beat up your foes while healing and buffing everyone, I guess? Question mark? Now over here, they're also showing that the cleric also has a counter, but then every class has a counter, alright? So you see there, took no damage because perfect counters, or perfect blocks, I don't know what they called it. Now is the subclass. So you can see over here that this person's switching subclass, and when you set a subclass, so you can see here they picked Hunter Gunner, you can change your skills. But if you pay attention over here, this is a gun, but he has a little sword symbol at the bottom, and that is because you're able to combine weapons later at the weapon shop. So first of all, you can see that all of these are hunter skills, but if we continue the video, he's actually going to change one of his skills to a gunner skill. So you can see over there, he changed it. And what happens now is when you're slashing around the field with your regular left click, if you right click, he automatically changes to a gun. You see that? So you're able to just mix PAs all on the same palette, and it'll just automatically switch weapons. So this is really amazing because now you have true freedom of playing main class and subclass, since you'll be able to just switch weapons on the fly. And right here we can see a force fighter actually. So this is what I actually am planning to do in New Genesis for now, mainly because I can do silly things like this. You'll freeze the boss with an ice PA and then switch to fighter and go full aura on their asses. Freaking amazing. Then we've got Photon Dash over here, and Photon Dash does not consume stamina, so you can just keep running super duper fast, so you no longer need to spam silly PAs like what we do in PSO2. So this is definitely very, very nice. And you can bet your butt there's gonna be cosmetic items to change the dash animation or the particles or something. We've got the Photon Glide, so this just allows us to glide over, like, you know, high chasms and free fall areas like this. Next up is the Wall Kick. So this is apparently an automatic skill. If it senses that there's a wall in front of you, it's automatically gonna kick off the wall and give you higher elevation. So that looks pretty cool. It looks to me more like a double jump, to be perfectly honest, but I mean, I guess you're wall kicking, so either way, it looks cool. And then we've got swimming. So I'm actually really excited for this. I want to see if there's like actual physics, like after swimming and you get out of the water, do your costumes get wet? And you know, materials getting wet usually become a more transparent, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. But I definitely wanna check that out. But it's pretty cool. We got swimming, and you can actually swim off to the deep end, so that's pretty neat. Alright, so to recap everything, New Genesis will allow you to equip your subclass weapons. So if your subclass is a fighter, you can equip Knuckles. If your subclass is a ranger, then you'll be able to equip the assault rifle like what they did in the examples of this video. But the biggest change is being able to combine two types of weapons with the multi-weapon function and attack with multiple weapons using only one weapon palette. And this part is freaking amazing. Just being able to do that makes the combos that you want to do, and the possibilities to do some really crazy chain combos is endless, which I'm super excited for because that's definitely something that I support. I want to be able to do outrageous things. Now for the basic actions and the mag, they talk about Photon Dash, Photon Glide, Wall Kick, Swimming, as well as the mag. So the mag is not going to act the same way as PSO2. In PSO2, it's essentially a stat stick. It gives you a bunch of dex or a bunch of range damage, melee damage, whatever. But in New Genesis, think of it more like Paimon in Genshin Impact, but with a portable shop, sort of like that. It's just going to follow you around, and when there's new stuff, it's going to be like, hey, look, there's something interesting here. And it also has a portable terminal, which will allow you to sell stuff, buy stuff. We don't exactly know any details, we just know that it will be a portable terminal. But I'm assuming that it's going to let you store stuff and take out stuff just for convenience's sake. Next up is the open field. So we can now teleport through the open field. There's going to be these teleport points. We talk to them. This is what the map's going to look like. And you can just click on this pillar and zoom, you will just teleport over. Now it does take a couple seconds for the loading. So we probably are going to need an SSD in order to load a little bit faster. But there we go. Boom. We're in the new area. Pretty amazing. Now what's even better is you can teleport anywhere. So let's say you're stuck on a mountain and you're like, oh crap, I don't want to walk all the way back to town. You can just press M or whatever the map key is going to be, and zoom, you can teleport to one of these pillars immediately. Super duper easy. Now there's also going to be instances. So this isn't going to be fully open world only. There are going to be dungeons. So these are these cocoons, or so they call, and you're able to just go in, and there's going to be like time trials. You can put a password on these as well in case you just want to play with your friends, or if you just want to do it solo. And it acts exactly the same as a regular instance or a regular dungeon. You just go in, boom, it's cocoon quest start. Now it does look a little bit futuristic, but I feel like this is a tutorial. I really feel like that this dungeon that they're doing right now is one of the tutorial dungeons. It's teaching you how to dash, how to double jump, so forth and so on. There's this purple thing that carries you high. Yeah, this is definitely a tutorial. This is why all the assets, like everything, kind of looks like cybery, and it doesn't look like a dungeon, you know? Now you can go into these instances with a party. So you can see over here that we're going to drag our friends with us, and we're going to go in as 4. And boom. So all these little flowers in front of us, they're like healing potions and revive potions. So we can go in as 4 over here, and boom, immediately into a boss room. That's pretty nice. And we can work together and defeat the boss. So you can see on the left side, that's like there's like a time limit, as well as the quest requirements. We've got some trials. So trials are basically those like emergency blah 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 blah, when you're just like running around in your expeditions and like suddenly some people need help. That is basically what this is. So we're gonna have to intercept doll control systems. I guess all these UFOs will attack us and we gotta destroy them. So this will happen randomly when you're just hunting or running around the open field. We'll also get assembly point clearance. This kind of looks like an emergency mission as well. So I don't really know the difference between the two, between trial and emergency. They both seem like emergency missions to me. They just pop out of nowhere and they're just like, yeah, deal with it. But this definitely looks pretty cool. It's very colorful, lots of verticality, makes the combat a little bit more interesting. But I would be very frustrated as a braver doing this because I have to do platforming and I suck at platforming. Then we've got the regional mag. This is like the ultimate giant Paimon. It's like, oh, I'm alive, feed me, I'm hungry. And so you gotta feed it all this certain materials. And if you do manage to feed everything it wants to eat, then it will give a server-wide buff, or a ship-wide buff in this case. So you can see over here, it's happy, yay! And so think of it like an alliance buff is what they said on the stream. So basically everyone just feed your regional giant mag, make it happy, and yeah, everyone gets buffs. Next up is the PSE burst. So we don't know how it works, but you can just see the little meter on the left side, like right next to your minimap. You'll see that there is a rainbow colored meter thingy and it's running down, and it acts exactly the same as our regular PSE burst. When you get a PSE burst, a bunch of mobs will start spawning around you and you gotta beat them all up. And then you could also get PSE burst climax, whatever that was. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how this works and how these things are, but it is what it is. Then we've got Urgent Quest. So Urgent Quest is going to act a little bit different since we are in an open field. So it's just going to pop up randomly and it's going to be like, oh, there's an Urgent Quest in this field. So please go there. So when you get there, there's just going to be like this UFO teleport thing. And it's going to teleport you to a closed field where you have to fight one of these bosses or whatever the Urgent Quest is. So you can see very clearly now that it's got an HP bar, it tells the level. I don't know what the bar is under the HP bar. Is that like a break gauge or something? But yeah, it looks pretty dang awesome. Now they didn't show us how many players this supports up to, but you can see that there is a timer on the left side again, so that's ticking down, you know, 25 minutes and 28 seconds. I'm assuming it gives us like 30 minutes, just like a regular Urgent Quest, but there are a lot of different bosses, so that's like a Luther wannabe doll over there. I wonder if he calls us Arcs trash as well. That would be pretty funny. And yeah, these are all the different dolls that we're looking at right now. So to sum up what we just saw, we've got the Recur device, which is basically a waypoint, and it allows you to teleport to faraway locations and lets you access your storage, which is very, very important and pretty cool. Then we've got the cocoons, which are basically instances which we can all go in and go in as a party or solo. They also covered the emergency trials, the PSE systems, the urgent quest, as well as the regional mag. So do remember, the regional mag is something that you do want to feed and you do want to find on your planet. So you can go over and pick up the ship-wide buff. That way everyone can benefit from the buffs. So next up is Central City. So Central City is our ARC's base of operations, so our main hub basically. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's a pretty big area and there's gonna be a ton of things to explore. This is probably gonna be the main hallway. It kind of reminds me of like Ragnarok Online, if you guys remember Pantora or Pontera, that's the name. Remember when you had to walk down like the middle lane and there was always a bunch of shops on the left and the right side? Kind of reminds me of that. It gives me Pontera vibes. But yeah, so this is the place. Looks pretty awesome. We've seen this part already. There is night and day cycle as well as weather cycles. So this is probably going to be the place where they put in all the seasonal stuff, like how we have in the shopping center right now. So we're going to run down here and we're going to check out all the different shops. I love how the mag just follows you like that. It's like bobbing around. I would love to get a Paimon skin, and they're just like, you know, just talks trash. Or a Luther skin. Just like every 5 minutes it goes, Arch trash! Going to the cafe area. So yeah, this looks like a cafe area for sure. Frankes Cafe 2.0. We've got an outdoor cafe as well, if, you know, indoor ain't your thing and you want to come out because weather is nice, so forth and so on. We've got, I don't know what that is, giant TV area, shopping plaza. Okay, so functions and features, tasks. So we have to run around and talk to different NPCs in order to get our client orders. Kind of similar to how we are right now, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like regular PSO2, where you can just get all your client orders from the quest counter, and like when you accept a quest, you can just click on that one really absurdly long text, receive quest from outstanding something somethings, and just get all the quests from there. We also have the food stand. So the food stand will allow us to cook stuff and eat stuff and gain buffs. So this guy's eating an apple and a piece of meat and he gained plus 10 PP or something. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Then over here we've got item enhancements. We do not have Doo-Doo. That looks like Monica-ish. So Monica team has prevailed. Doo-Doo has perished. In before, there's like the first quest you get is to like save Doo-Doo or something, right? Like he's being captured by the dolls and we gotta save him. So this is the affixing and the augments. So now we just shove in capsules into our weapon. So you saw that this weapon has 2 slots. We're shoving in 10 capsules of each over here. And you'll see when he goes to confirm that it's 90% chance success on the second affix. So I'm gonna assume that it just goes lower and lower the more affixes you wanna put onto your weapon or your units. But the nice thing about this is you're using capsules to put into skills. So I'm assuming that if you do fail, let's say you failed the 90% one, you still keep the 100%. You just lose the 90% one. So that way you can still mix and match your perfect augments that you want on your weapon. And whenever you fail, you just lose the one that you're attempting to put in. So that would be very, very nice if you can do that. But then again, this is all speculation. I don't actually know how it's going to be done. Then you can see here that they affix, and boom, success, huzzah. Next up is the multi-weapon feature. So this is how they're able to put in multiple weapons into one weapon slot, and you're gonna see that right now. So you see he's got a sword and he's got an assault rifle. He can combine the 2 weapons together, and you can see right here it's gonna consume whatever this resource is. I have no idea what that is. It's also gonna consume 50,000 Meseta, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna combine your sword as well as your assault rifle together into one weapon. So you can just put it into your weapon palette and you won't have to switch weapon palettes in order to use certain PAs. You're gonna see right here, and it's gonna be a success. And now you can see up here the sword as well as the gun are combined together. So that means you can just use the sword, but you'll still be able to cast assault rifle PAs while equipping the sword, because it's automatically gonna switch to that weapon whenever you cast that PA. And likewise, you can switch back to the sword by just casting a regular sword PA. So this is what I really, really like about New Genesis. They're really streamlining things. They're making things feel a lot more smoother, a lot more impactful, and just fancier. So to do a short recap of what we just saw over there, so there is going to be day-night cycles as well as weather conditions, and there's going to be all these different NPCs living in the city, and they're going to have tasks which are basically client orders, as they said on the stream. So we're just going to have to run around and pick up all those client orders. But as I said before, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an option to just pick up all the client orders without having to run around the city, because that would be very, very tedious. And of course, we've got the food stand where we can create food with various effects out of gathered materials such as the tree fruit and meat from the wild animals called tames. Then we've got the item lab where we can do item enhancement, affix augments, as well as multi-weapon. Next up is communication with the original PSO2, so like switching between the 2. So first of all, communication. So you've got all your regular chat boxes, you've got the annoying one, and then over here we've got symbol arts. So now you can make your own symbol arts a lot more easier than the old version. I don't even know how you make symbol arts on the old version. I've just been stealing other people's, and my alliance makes them. Then we've got finger movements over here. This one doesn't have much finger movement. Over here, yeah, you can point at people. Haha. You can be like, it was you. I like this one a lot. Definitely not because of those assets. Definitely because of those fingers, you know? Very, very nice and slender. Yes. Yeah, you could do... Oh my god. RC made a post about that emote, 100%. We're gonna get some cursed stuff. Over here we've got some stickers, so that's pretty cool. I hope we get some Pusoni stuff. Here's the login screen. So when we log in, you're gonna blast over here to the character select screen, and you can just select your character, and then you'll be able to go to PSO2 or New Genesis. If you paid attention there, the first option was PSO2 New Genesis, second option is PSO2. So you can just come into regular PSO2, it looks exactly the same. They said there's a graphics rehaul, but to be honest, I think they kept it pretty similar, just so that people with lower PCs can still play PSO2 like vanilla. And you can see over here, in order to switch, you just come in here, you switch blocks, and you say, I want to go to New Genesis. And there's a loading screen, and boom, you're New Genesis. So easy. Going from New Genesis to PSO2, you just go to the teleport thingies, and right here, the first option, would you like to go back to PSO2? Yes, and boom, you're back to regular PSO2. Super duper easy. It's so quick. It's so easy. So to cover what we just saw over there, we've got the balloon chat, we've got the symbol art, we got the emotes. And yeah, with the long-awaited finger movements, wow! We've also got the PSO2 and renewed graphics engine, so switching between New Genesis and PSO2 from the login screen, super duper easy. And even when you are logged in order to switch back, it's literally just going into the change block thing, and you can switch to New Genesis. If you're in New Genesis, you just go to a teleportation thingy, and you can switch back to a PSO2. It is so streamlined, so smooth. It's pretty amazing. I just want to reiterate over here that the graphics in the renewed graphics engine of regular PSO2 doesn't look that different from what we have right now. So I really think Sega took some feedback from the JP players, as well as maybe the global players as well, because I believe Animana made like a poll vote, and it was like 20% of the people couldn't run New Genesis because they didn't even meet the minimum requirements. So they might have tuned down that part a bit so that even lower NPCs can still play this game. Next up is the character creation. So character creation in New Genesis is insane. But one thing that's really interesting is they took out male and female. So you don't pick a gender anymore. So there's just variation 1 and variation 2. So variation 1 is more quote unquote, as they said on the stream, masculine, while variation 2 is more quote unquote feminine. That's it. But you can still make your face look like a guy and stick with a feminine body if you want, and it's not gonna matter. And how this affects us as players is because of our cosmetic items. So you're gonna see here that they go to the cosmetic items, and now you can check right here on these tabs. There's just variation 2 and variation 1 costumes, but it's no longer gender locked. So even if you are a female character in PSO2 vanilla, you're still gonna be able to wear male costumes as well as female costumes. So this is pretty important, and it might actually affect the prices of costumes, because you can see right here that he's going to switch over to the main one. Boom. So you keep your character's looks. However, the body type is going to change a little bit in order to fit the actual costume. So this is definitely going to be very interesting to see how this affects all of our current cosmetic items, especially our outfits. Are we going to be able to switch on the fly in order to switch to male costumes, female costumes, and mix and match? Because this definitely is pretty interesting. I don't know why they decided to go this approach, but I ain't complaining. And over here, the comedian as well as the idol gave the Sega employee a challenge to make this male outfit look as feminine as possible. And we're gonna fast forward, and I'm gonna show you what monstrosity he created. And boom, this is the monstrosity he created. Kind of reminds me of Alfonso from the Fate series. Yeah, it definitely looks like a trap, but I don't know. I think he did a pretty good job making it look as feminine as possible, but this ain't my cup of tea, you know? I make my characters as say-so as possible. They are pure and innocent. So yeah, this ain't my cup of tea. But what's even better now is you can attach cast bodies as well. So you're gonna see here, boom, we've got a giant Gundam unit with a human head. So this is pretty dang amazing. You could do some really troll stuff in New Genesis. And then now they're going to switch over to the female variant, and ooh la la, look at that. Very, very beautiful. If you want to play a Dooman or a Newman, you can just switch the ear types, and you can also put in horns. So let me fast forward to the horn part. And right here, you can also attach horns onto your character if you want. So boom, you've got a horn, and there's so much customizability here where you can make the horn as big as you want, as small as you want, different angles, so forth and so on. You can see that, yeah, right there, boom, look, so much customizability, and it's insane. It's super crazy how amazing this character creator is. I can see some abominations coming out for sure. Over here is very important, and this is the accessories. So you're limited to 18 points for accessories. So why do I say points? And that is because every accessory takes up a different amount of points. So you can see over here, these are the iconic glasses of my character. This takes 2 accessory points. While if I was to put this hat over here, this would take 4 accessory points. So even though you have a total of 18 points, this does not mean you can put 18 different accessories onto the character. It means you can mix and match different accessories, but you have to take into account the number of points it's going to consume. Because if you could put 18 accessories onto the character, well, that would be pretty abysmal. You can make some nightmare fuel craziness over there. So you see he put the wings on the back and it took up 3 points, so he's 3 out of 18 now. And over here he put on a whole bunch of different accessories. He's now 16 out of 18, and that means he's only got 2 points left. So you can see all the points that cost 3 points over here automatically faded out, meaning that no, you can't put any more. And you'll notice that the ones that are more than 2 points are just faded out. So it's like, oh, you can't put these accessories because you don't have enough points. So you can only pick the ones that are still colored because those are worth 2 points. And he's only got 2 points left. And now you've noticed that he's maxed out. He's 18 out of 18. And even though he wants to put like an 8th accessory, when you click on I want to add one more, it'll come up with this error message saying, no, you can't put it. Nope, too bad. You can't put any more accessories, so forth and so on, because you are maxed out. You see he's going to try to click multiple times. It's like, no, you don't have enough accessory points. But yeah, that's pretty much everything they talked about on the stream. Now, if you do want to check it out for yourself, the link is in the description below. The last like 45 minutes of the stream is them just messing around with the character creation. So if you do want to get more information about the character creation, do check out the stream on the last 45 minutes. Other than that, I pretty much covered everything that they covered in the first hour and a little bit about the character creation, about like the most important things, which I found most interesting. But yeah, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heals, the boosts, the rest.